Welcome to Lunch with Leaders, the podcast where we explore what it truly takes to lead, thrive, and create lasting impact. I'm Adaeze Iloeje-Udeogalanya, a TEDx speaker, a leadership strategist, and the founder of African Women in STEM. While many episodes feature conversations with innovators, trailblazers, and leaders from around the world, today's episode is a solo reflection, a space for us to slow down and explore a leadership, visibility, or career insight together. These episodes are designed to help you learn, unlearn, and walk away with grounded perspective and practical takeaways you can apply in real life. So if you're ready to lead with intention, if you're ready to amplify your voice, and if you're ready to grow with clarity over time, you are in the right place. Let's get into today's episode. Have you ever delivered at a high level and still not gotten what you wanted? Have you ever received feedback so vague that it told you nothing? Have you missed out on an opportunity and wondered, why couldn't they see me? So what's actually going on? Welcome back. Here's what actually happens when high-performing women in STEM get passed over. No one sits her down to explain why. No one tells her what actually happened in that room. Instead, she gets feedback that sounds like feedback, but tells her nothing. Like, you're not quite ready. Quite ready for what? Or keep doing what you're doing. And the best one, you need to work on your executive presence. And then she walks away with absolutely no idea what to change. This vagueness is not an accident. Most leaders and managers are not equipped to give good feedback. So they reach for language that sounds constructive but says nothing. And you're left to fill the gaps yourself. So you do what you've always done. You go back to your desk and work harder. You deliver more, you add another credential. You take on more projects, you produce more results because you were taught that increasing the volume of your output is the answer. The system told you to perform your way to the top. Do more, deliver more, prove more, and eventually the right people will notice you and you'll be rewarded. But we all know that that is not how things work. And doing that actually keeps you stuck and unable to reach your goal of being promoted into senior or executive leadership. I work with a client, let's call her Nadia. When we met, Nadia had about 12 years experience and was being considered for a director role. Exciting, isn't it? So, well, it was exciting until it wasn't, because she didn't get it. She didn't get it in spite of raving reviews. And she thought the interviews went well. But the feedback was that she was great, but just not quite ready yet. Interestingly enough, Nadia had been doing this job for a year. So this was meant to be a shoo-in for her, but it wasn't. And here's why. In that presentation, Nadia did what she believed would showcase her experience, her expertise, and her readiness for the role. She'd done this for a year, so she knew how the job got done. So she showed her work. She was very thorough and she was very precise. Excellent. She showed her expertise. But they were not looking for an expert. They were looking for a leader. The senior leaders in that room are not there to evaluate your analysis. They know you're smart. That's not what they're deciding. They're reading your signals, every single one of them. The signals that you may not even know that you're sending out. And the signals that they're looking for are very specific. Does she have a point of view? Or does she have options? Does she hold her position? Or does she fold under pressure? Does she own the decisions? Or does she hand it back to the room? Now, this is a scorecard. Nobody shows it to you. Nobody tells you about it, but it exists. And every time you over-explain, you signal, every time you present options without a recommendation, you signal, I don't want to be wrong, so I'm leaving the decision with you. Every time you soften your language, you signal, I'm not fully committed to this position. And none of these signals say leader. And the room responds accordingly. But here's what you need to know about Nadia. She did everything right. She had done this job exceptionally well for a whole year. Show your work. Be thorough. Do not get ahead of your evidence. Let the data lead. That's what she thought. And that's what she's heard her whole entire life and her whole entire career. In school, that's what you hear. Show your work. Be thorough. Let your evidence lead. Show your data. In her first role, in all her performance reviews, that's what she did. And she got the feedback that she always met and exceeded expectations. And again, when you get that kind of feedback, what do? You keep doing what you're doing because that's what you were told. She was not operating from a place of weakness. She was operating from a place of deep professional integrity. But the thing is that at this level, it had just stopped working and nobody told her why. But I'm going to tell you. So at the senior levels that you're looking to step into or aspire to be in, or if you're already there, you're probably looking to go higher than where you are right now. They already know you're great. That's not the question. That is not why you're there. What they're evaluating is something else entirely. They want to know if you have judgment, if you have conviction, if you can look at all of that complexity, all of that data, all of those variables, and still say clearly, this is what I believe we should do and stand by it. That's a shift that you need to make. From showing your work to owning your decisions. And being misread is not a verdict on who you are. It's not a reflection of your capability, your worth, or how far you've come. It's simply a signal that your communication has not caught up with the level that you want to operate at. And that, unlike so many things, is completely within your power to change. So Nadia and I worked together over several months, and the first thing we did was to stop trying to fix her confidence. Because we understand that when things like this happen to you, when you've worked in a position without the title for a year and then you're told you're not good enough, your confidence takes a hit. But her confidence was never the problem. So we had to make sure that we do not fixate on that because it would take away from everything else. So instead, we looked at specific moments where she was losing the room. We mapped them out. We identified exactly where her communication was signaling expert instead of authority. And then we built and rebuilt how she showed up in those moments. We didn't change her personality. We didn't change her style. We just focused on the way she spoke and the words that she led with. So within 3 months, Nadia was being pulled into conversations that she'd been previously excluded from. Remember I said she worked on this role for a year, but she didn't even realize that she was just doing the job and not really being pulled into very critical conversations. And when a director role opened up in another practice, she was a natural choice for it. So here's what I want you to do this week. One thing, just one thing. Before your next meeting or presentation, get clear on what you want to say. Then write it down. And write it down like this. My recommendation is fill in the blank. Not here are the options, not the data suggests, not one of so many approaches could be. Just my recommendation is, and then finish the sentence. Practice this. Practice saying it out loud over and over again. Several times before you walk into this meeting. Write it on top of your notes app or your notepad so that when it's your turn to speak, you know exactly what to say. Stop being the person who brings a lot of information, a lot of data, a lot of facts. Become the person who brings direction, who leads direction, who tells people where you're going, where they're going. So that's the only thing that matters at this level, at the level that you want to play at or that you're playing at right now. So don't overthink it. You already know what you think should be done. You already know the right thing to do. You've known it because at this point you have so much experience and so much expertise that you know it. So just make up your mind, form that conclusion, be very decisive, take all the data and all the information, and just say the thing. Lead with that decision that you want to make. Walk in, own it, say the thing, and don't hold back. So if you take nothing else, think, inform less, and lead more. So did this hit close to home? If it did, well, that's very good actually, because awareness is the first step to change. And if you're ready to go deeper, to understand not just what's happening in the room, where your authority is strong, and where there are gaps that may be costing you, I want to invite you to take your Leadership Edge Diagnostic. It's an assessment that I put together. It's free and it's only going to take you 5 minutes. So what this will do is that it will show you exactly where your authority is strong and where there are gaps that may be costing you, and also give you clear next steps to close them. So the link is in the show notes. So today, make one decision that the next time that it's your turn to speak, lead with your recommendation. Say the thing, own it, and don't hold back. And remember, inform less and lead more. Until next time, bye. If you have learned something today or feel inspired by this episode, I would love and appreciate it if you leave a review on the Launch Your Leaders podcast. This will help others just like you know that this show is for them too. Find and connect with me and reach out to me in the DMs. I love chatting with you. I am Adaeze Iloeje-Udeogalanya on LinkedIn. Until next time, lead boldly, create impact, and expand your influence.